Me just ask you straight up, do you really know your online enemy? Like, what are they actually trying to do? And maybe more importantly, what's their playbook? How do they do it? That's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
All right, first things first, let's get on the same page. In the world of cybersecurity, a threat isn't just some vague monster hiding in the shadows. Nope, it's any potential event that can cause real damage to a computer or a network. And understanding what these threats actually are, well, that is absolutely the first step to building a solid defense.
So, here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start by looking at the online enemy. Then, we're going to dive into the harmful software they love to use. After that, we'll cover direct attacks. From there, we'll explore how they mess with us by tricking the human mind. And finally, we'll wrap up by talking about you and your defense. Okay, so first up, we've got the internal saboteurs. This isn't an army charging the front gates. This is the enemy that sneaks inside your system to cause chaos from within. And the big official name for this whole category? That's malware. Think of it as the catch-all term for any software that's been designed to do bad stuff, whether that's stealing your data, messing up your files, or just secretly spying on you.
All right, so let's break down the malware family tree. First, you've got a virus. It's just like the flu. It latches onto a healthy file and needs you to open that file to spread. Then there's a worm. This one's a self-replicating invader. It can crawl across entire networks all by itself, no help needed. Next up, the infamous Trojan horse. It's literally the Greek myth. It looks like a useful gift, but it's secretly opening a back door for attackers. Then we have the nasty one, ransomware. This is basically a digital kidnapping where they lock up your files and demand a ransom. And finally, spyware, which is like a hidden microphone, quietly recording everything you type, including your passwords.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're moving from those sneaky inside jobs to a full-on frontal assault on your digital fortress. This is the siege. The big difference here is all about scale. It's about numbers. A denial of service or DOS attack, that's one computer trying to flood a website with so much junk traffic that it just gives up and crashes. But a distributed denial of service, a DDoS attack, oh, that's a whole other beast. That's an entire army of thousands or even millions of hijacked computers, what they call a botnet, all attacking at once from every corner of the globe. It is incredibly hard to stop. All right, this next one is one of the sneakiest attacks out there, for sure. It's called the man-in-the-middle attack. So imagine you're at a coffee shop, you connect to the Wi-Fi, and you start logging into your bank. But secretly, a hacker has put themselves right in between you and the bank. You think you're talking directly to your bank, but you're not. You're talking to the hacker, who's then relaying your messages, listening in on everything. This is a huge risk, especially on those unsecured public Wi-Fi networks. But you know what? Not every attack is about code and servers. A lot of the time, the most successful attacks go after the weakest link in any security chain, and that's us, the human. This is where the impersonators come out to play. And the #1 poster child for this kind of attack is, of course, phishing. It's a straight-up con game. The attacker sends you an email or text that looks totally legit, like it's from your bank or Amazon or Netflix, and their goal is to trick you into revealing your password or credit card info. So, how can you tell it's a fake? Well, you've got to become a bit of a detective. First, look at the full sender address. Doesn't look weird. Next, check the greeting. Are they using your name or just a generic "Dear Customer"? Read the email carefully. Are there obvious spelling or grammar mistakes? Do they try to make you panic with messages like "urgent action required"? And finally, for goodness sake, hover your mouse over any link before you even think about clicking it to see the real destination. And here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. A real email from PayPal is going to come from an address that ends in @paypal.com. Simple. A fake one might try to fool you with something that looks close, like @support-mail.com. See that little difference? That's everything. Okay, so we've seen the enemy's playbook. We know their tactics. Now what? What's your first mission? Well, it's not about buying some expensive software. It all starts with awareness. Right now, your knowledge is your single best weapon. So let's do a quick recap of the enemy's game plan, right? You've got malware, which is the software that gets inside and sabotages things. You've got network attacks, the big direct assaults trying to crash your defenses. And you've got social engineering, which are just mind games designed to trick you into handing over the keys yourself. And look, it all boils down to this one simple idea, the theme of our whole explainer. To effectively defend a network,
or even just your own personal accounts, you have to understand the enemy first. That knowledge is your shield.
And that really brings us to the final and honestly the most important question. Now that you know how they operate, now that you can recognize their playbook, what's one thing you're going to change about your own online habits starting right now?